Gosh, the girls are dying again. Hi, Jim here. I'm going to show what's going on and what I changed today. So today I changed it all up. Those feeders, those external feeders are now empty. So you can see that. That's the first swarm I caught in mid-April. They are doing some crazy things. This is like this every day. I'll sweep all that up towards the evening in that big huge pile of thousands and thousands of dead bodies. And so here's what happened. Yesterday, uh, I was sitting here minding my own business, right? Just chilling, taking my little break that I do. And I saw something caught my eye, and I had a towel sitting on this black box here. So I went to investigate. Like, what is that? And it was a Cronulla queen bee that just landed on the towel. A queen Cronulla, black as night. Oh my gosh, black as coal. Whole body, even her wings were black. And so I went and got myself a queen clamp. I clamped her in the queen clamp, and I thought, I wonder if she came from this. How did I caught in April? So I put that queen clamp right there where all that mass is right there. Where all that mass is, I put her right in the midst of that yesterday. Just see what happened. See if they went to kill her or do what. Those other bees walked right in because she was too big. She couldn't get out, which is the whole purpose of the queen clamp, right? She's bigger and she can't get out of that. But the other bees walked right in there, walked around her, on her. They showed absolutely zero aggression towards her. I left her there for like about 3-4 minutes to wait to see if she came from that hive. And she clearly did. Because if she didn't come from that hive, they would have been on her like white on rice. Trying to take her out. But no, she's part of the family over there, right? Same pheromones. And so I thought, doggone, man. Maybe she's going out to mate. Right? And maybe she'll come back here. Maybe that's the queen they selected, right? Maybe they did a split or something, or going to do one, or something's going on. Maybe they want 3 queens in there at the same time. Who knows? And so, I opened up the queen clamp, and I just kind of like try to tap her out like that. She flew away. She took off. My suspicion at that moment was she hadn't been mated yet. She was new. She just kind of flew out and landed over there when she came out of the box before she went on her mating voyage. And so she took off to go find a dude. Lots of dudes. So anyway, so I'm thinking that she might be coming back. There was some bees going up in my baited nuke again. I hope don't end up 3 queens in that box. It's already a nightmare. You can see what I did here. So yesterday I did a video. Things were all different. Today they're different again. I'm just that way. I like changing things up, come up with new ideas, new concepts, figure out what maybe will work better. So I'm doing internal feeding now. All those feeding trays, you can see how most of them are empty now. Yeah, even those don't have no food either. But they're hoping and praying that I'll come along and drop some in. No, I'm gonna have them feed on the inside. I'm not gonna be feeding any more neighbor bees. But I gotta say this though. So those folks who want to catch a swarm, now they're getting upset with me because I stopped feeding them. Okay. She's like, okay. Anyway, yeah, I go into a zone, man. When they get around my head, I go into I zero in, man. Focus, intense. Trying to discover their true intention, and their body language will tell me, and the speed in which they flap their wings. So yeah, they're acting like, yeah, they don't have any more food out there anymore, right? So they're going to be more aggressive with me. So I've been feeding these girls for weeks now, and they've been so docile. I can walk. I've been able to walk through here, do whatever. Now that I'm not going to be doing any external feeding anymore, I'm probably going to get more buzzed. So, yeah, I hope there's not more queens. So, yeah, I was going to say something. I was talking. I get that way. So, pre-swarming activity. There's been some on and off pre-swarming activity, and so, and I think I made a list here. Super frames for, yeah. So now there's another thing about making our own frames and our own beehives and all that kind of stuff. If one really wanted to cut down on wood and that kind of thing, using wood, you can always just make frames that are fit for supers. They're smaller, and you can use those in your broods. That's what I did. So I put a super in there frame because that's all I had at the time. And when I went to inspect to see what's going on in there after I caught this swarm, they had taken that super frame and made it into a brood frame. They filled it all the way down. They made it into a brood frame on their own. So, yeah. So we can always do that too. I'm thinking about doing that. Just make all my future frames small, and if they want to make more, they need more space, they can make it on their own, right? So that's that part. So brood frames, Cronulla queen, yeah. Drone removal. So they're taking out. I think also what's happening because the queen will lay bees into late fall, early winter. They're called winter bees, and they can live up to 200 days. And this is about the 200-day mark, right around there. And so this could be all these thousands of dead girls, not including the drones they're taking out, could be a part of that group, a lot of them. And they're just dying and being brought out. And so, and another thing about external feeding. So, if you want to, that's where I was going to go before I got sidetracked. If you want to catch swarms, best time is like early spring, late March. Just kind of really get yourself going in March, mid-March, depending upon where you're at. You know, every it has to do with geography, right? Climate, and so I'd recommend do what's called external feeding. By doing external feeding, in the mind of the bee, you're creating a paradise zone. So all these bees from other tribes, from different locations, they'll come to like your area because it's productive, it's safe, there's food, and by creating a community feeder, and you don't have to like keep it out all the time. Just put it out now and then. Maybe put out one serving a day instead of what I do is leave it out all day, keep filling them. And I did that for my bees so that they'd come to know me. But you can do that to get your neighborhood hives in your neighborhood. So when they get to want to swarm out, you know you got yourself a baited nuke. They've already explored that multiple times. Plus your external feeding, and you got a baited nuke in a tree or something on a post, whatever. The odds are really good. You'll catch swarm after swarm. I did it that way and caught 3, so it works. And before that, I always felt lucky. I caught 1 last year. That was so I kind of perfected what I think, for at least from my area, bees respond different to different geographical locations and the weather kind of situations and all that, and so they'll respond differently to different situations and different external stimuli. And so, yeah, put some external feeders out until you think that the season's over, or until you start seeing wasps and other pests. Then you need to go inside, which is what I did. I started seeing wasps wanting to go into the feeders, and that's just an invitation for a lot of more wasps to start pestering your hives. So And that's another reason why I decided to go ahead and put all the feeding on the inside of the hives that I want to continue to feed. And but it takes them a while when we introduce a internal feeder. It can take them like a whole day to figure that out. What's this cave thing in here? And they start to go in there, and a couple of days, that inside of that jar and that cavity would be packed with bees. And the same thing with the feeders. It took them several days to get the location of those external feeders. And once they found them, those things were just packed. And so, yeah. So, external feeders for catching swarms, drawing neighborhood bees to like your area and see it as a paradise. Right? Catch your with swarms you think that are, catchable, because when you get past June, it becomes less and less likely, especially when it's dearth time of the year. Food is scarce, and they don't want to do splits with no. They don't want to do no splits when there's no food available. Yeah, this wasp is on the phone tripod, and it's going down. They're taking wasps are coming down here and dismantling the drones and eating them, and that's a concern because once a predator finds a source of food, they can be very aggressive. Once that easy food is gone, they can be very aggressive with your hive and become a real serious nuisance. And if they were to get in there and find the queen, they can kill her. So there goes your hive. And so, yeah. And before I got bees, the year before I got bees, that year I had this same box. I had it up in the tree and never caught a dang thing. Not even any signs that first season starting in April. And so I went ahead and bought a box of bees. But that year, when I didn't have any bees, I had wasps that were all over my property. And when it got summertime, when it started getting hot, I noticed they would go into these little, wherever there was water, like lots of them would go in there. So I ended up putting out these big trays of water, and I kept them watered all summer. Thousands of them would go into these different aluminum trays that I had that I would keep full of water just for the wasps. And I'd go up there and add more water. There'd be thousands of them flying around me, hundreds, flying around me, waiting for me to fill the tray. They came to see me as a positive thing, just like the bees here. Another reason why I wanted to do external feeding when they became so aggressive was to them see me come and feed them. Like, see, I'm a nice guy. Don't attack me. And so I would feed them 4, 5, 6 times a day. Yeah, you're out of food. Well, you go feed in the jar. And so, yeah, I'd feed them 5, 6 times a day on purpose, wanting to do that because I couldn't come down for a long time. I couldn't come back here unless I was fully suited. I didn't feel comfortable anyway. And so within the past week, right around a week, I felt totally comfortable just coming sitting here. But now that there's no external feeder, I don't know how to play it. I'm gonna have to play that one by ear. I wish it was somebody else's ear. But if they start being really aggressive again with me, because it's no longer paradise, right? So I might have to maybe put one external feeder out somewhere further away from me, just to kind of keep them away from me. The ones that are really being aggressive, wanting food. And so there it is. That's kind of the day. Yeah, kind of strange, huh? Cronulla bee just sitting over there, moving around. How to draw bees in. Yeah. All right, I covered those lists. So, how to draw bees in. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I covered all that stuff. All right. Well, that's kind of my day. I went to try to go find some wood to build some more hives, but no good luck. I went to a dentist anyway. I was like, oh, I'm out. I need to go to a dentist and get this thing done. I might as well see if there's some wood. Now the traffic was all heavy. I said, ah. So anyway, that's kind of the day, and I guess I'll prop up these peach branches before they break. All right, please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, leave a comment, click the like, and you have a good day now. Yep. Do the margarita. And then we can dream of Jeannie. That long blonde hair and blue eyes.